Hey guys, UC here. So first of all, really appreciate all of you who have reached out asking about the bots. When will we make it available? So usually we make it available every month, usually around the middle of the month, around anything after 10th of the month, to first come first serve basis, and we don't really usually give out more than 10 licenses in a month. It's just easier for me to provide support if anybody needs it, and just kind of keep the quality good. So anyways, so a lot of you asked about the difference between the UC EMA and the UC MAX bot. So I think just like anything else, it's better to explain that via example. Like if I pull up a chart and run the bot and just kind of evaluate and try to show you how it's taking trades. So I think the best way to do it is to maybe run it for a specific time period, both of them, and then you can spot the difference between the two and see which one takes the trade where. And of course it all depends on your your parameter settings as well, like how you want to run it. But generally speaking, the difference between the two, how most of the people like to run it, I think that's what I will try to display. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, fellows, so everybody has been asking me, people who are interested, about the difference between the UC MAX and the UC EMA bot, right? Because I don't think I have any place on the website where I've talked about this difference, right? And even in my previous videos, when I'm making one, you usually talk about one or the other, right? Never really gave you guys the comparison between the two. So let's do one thing. Let's get into the playback mode. Let me get out of the live account and get into the playback. Okay, and let's do I think Friday. Okay, and let me change the workspace as well, just so that you guys have a nice and clean view of the chart. Okay, so again, there are differences in terms of the trade entry criteria, right? And then what sort of flexibility does EMA bot has versus the MAX, right? So I think the biggest difference is actually the flexibility and the control that the EMA bot provides you, right? So when I say flexibility, what does that mean, right? So flexibility, what I mean is that you have to think about the chart in terms of the market structure, right? So this is one market structure where the market is trending, right? It's not sideways, right? Versus this one right here is sideways, sideways, a little bit sideways, and then again trendy market, right? So a configure. So what UC EMA does is that you can configure the UC EMA to trade in this trendy market or in this sideways market. You can also tell the UC EMA to get you in the trade if you are, if you have, based on your level of risk aversion, you are like, hey, I'm fine catching the trend, but I don't want an aggressive entry to enter here or here, right? I only want an entry when the thing drops, when the price drops below 20 EMA, or when the price drops below 50 EMA, or hey, even if the price drops below 200 EMA. So you have that flexibility, right, as a trader, as an end user, to control that entry, right? You can leave it as default, or you can configure it however you like. All right. So for example, let's apply a strategy here. Let's apply the EMA bot here. Okay, I'm just gonna go with something. Okay, so you see this over here is the enable and disable button, right? And then this, this thing tells you the difference between the 50 and the 200 EMA, right? And it's also displayed here on the chart as well. You can see the current distance and what you have set as a threshold, right? So what this means is right now that, hey, enable my strategy, only take the trade when the distance between the two EMAs goes above 30 ticks, above the distance, right? And then you have the flexibility to tell that bot that, hey, only trade below this distance as well, not when it goes above that distance. You can even reverse the direction of the trades as well, right? That is what is recommended when you are trading the sideways market, right? When you're trading the trending market, you leave it as with the reverse off, right? So these are all the configurations that are explained in the PDF, right? That comes with the license that you can review and see, and which configuration will work best in what market structures, right? Again, market structures are sideways or trendy, right? With a trendy session like this or the market structure like this, you will have a different set of configuration, and for a sideways to range bound market, you will have a different set of configuration, right? That's for people who just want to kind of configure some charts and just leave them like that and just kind of test it out. But people who are actively trading the bot, right, they're using it as a tool to drive their trades. You can always have it on multiple charts. You can enable, disable, you can decrease the distance on the fly. That, for example, hey, why am I not getting the trades here in this trend up? Because the distance, let's say, is right now 16 points, and you had set this thing at let's say 100 ticks, which is about 25 points, right? So in order for you to take the trades here while the market is trending, it will not take the trade unless or until the difference goes more than 25 points, right? So in order to change that, right, you have to adjust the difference, right? That's something that I always recommend everybody find their sweet spot, right? Whatever works for you. For me, it's mostly 40 ticks or something. Sometimes it's 30 ticks if the market is slowly moving up or down, right? And the difference is not that much. So again, so that flexibility is there, right? This is something that UC EMA bot offers you, right? And also, I like to play and trade, for example, this trend, right? I like to trade, for example, this is the trend started right here, right? I like to trade on one of the charts when the price dips below this 200, right? So you can do that, right? So I would have taken a long entry right here somewhere, right? It would have given me a nice profit. Or a lot of people like to play only the dips below 20, right? Somewhere right here, right? So again, it all depends on your risk profile, on how you like to trade. So that's why I always recommend everybody back test this thing a little bit, just to kind of see what's going on with what configuration the bot takes, where does it takes the entries. So that's the main difference, right? That's the main quality of this EMA bot, that it gives you a lot of flexibility in terms of how you want to trade this kind of chart. So if it was up to me, right, I would have, or I usually still do have, the way I like to trade these trends, right? Oops, sorry. This trend right here, this trend right here, this trend right here, would have definitely traded all the way from there, and this trend, right? And then also I like to trade the dips below 200 EMA on these trends, right? And then also I like to trade the reversals when the market is a little sideways, right? For example, this one, right? You don't want to go long on top of the range when the market is sideways, and you don't want to go short when the market is sideways towards the low end, right? So you don't want those things, right? You don't want a short here, you don't want a long here, right? You want the opposite. You want the short here and you want the long here, and you can do all that stuff with the UC EMA with this reverse button, right? So those kind of things, right? Now let's go and talk about the UC MAX bot, right? So let me remove this one right here. Okay, so when I enable this thing, it only gives you, look at this, enable and disable button. I do intend to add a reverse button on this one as well, but not for right now. Okay, so my intention is to keep this thing simple, right? And okay, so you see, if you don't have the flexibility to define in which market structure you want the trades in, so where does it take the trades? So by default, right, the way I have programmed it, it would only work in the trendy session, in the trendy structure, right? So it will only take the trades when the market structure looks like this, or when the market structure, let's go in this one. It would love to trade like in this structure, this one right here, right? This one, it won't take any trades. Even if it, you know, ends up taking a trade, it will probably be a loss because it's a range bounds, right? I've done my best to tell the strategy to not trade in this type of market structure, right? And you can see that, let's just say, for example, let's just run. Okay, so let's run this thing. So it's not taking the trades in this choppy sideways type market structure. Like, it's looking for some sort of a trend to develop, and then it will start taking the trades.
Order filled. Stop filled.
That was a stop. Keep going.
Order filled. Order filled.
Okay, I'm gonna pause it. So, yeah, close this thing.
Order filled.
Okay, so you see, okay, I think I enabled disable it. That's why it ended up. Let me remove this strategy so we can see where it took the trades. There you go. Okay, so it took the trades right here. So you see, so it took the trades when the market started trending, right? You really don't need these EMAs in this case, but they're there for, you know, so it's okay. This one, it thought that it was a trend, it was going to develop, but it stopped us out, right? That's fine, things will happen, but when the trend starts, it gives you nice runs. Okay, so one thing that you can change is you can change the frequency of these trades. And let's say you are a little bit of aggressive trader, right? So you can tell it to take more trades in this trendy session, right? So you can define that by parameter, number of trades, more or less. That's it. And there's another one, aggressive and non-aggressive, right? So aggressive defines that will take a little bit more trades based on the little bit of less strict criteria. And when it's less aggressive, that means the criteria for an entry is a little bit strict, and it will only do when that strict criteria is met. Okay, so but it will not let you trade in this sideways market, right? So that's the only biggest difference between the two, right, for now. Yeah, so it just depends on how you like to trade, right? Because definitely the most money is made in these trendy structures, right, because of market moving. But then there are people, you know, like myself even as well, that I like to do trade sometimes in this range bound market. It does offer a nice TikTok session where you can go long towards the lower end of the range, and you can short towards the upper end of the range. So you can accumulate some good points. Like, and to be honest with you, most of the times market is not trendy, right? This is from like 2-3 o'clock in the morning till like 9:30, so 6 hours of just sort of pure choppiness sideways, right? Versus this one was an extraordinary day. But for the most part, right, you're not going to end up writing for the most part, this whole move up, unless of course you're swinging it or you're leaving the runner, you will only catch these little busts, right? And that's what trading is, right? Because you don't know, because this is all hindsight, you don't know if it will turn back down or not, right? So yeah, that's the sort of the difference between the UC EMA and the UC MAX, right? Anything else I can think of? Yeah, I think I have some videos recently of the UC MAX running, right? So if you go to let's go to the YouTube channel. Let's bring YouTube channel. Okay. There you go. So if you go to the videos, right, you can see this one right here, the PCE data, right? This is when the market moves, right? Based on the news, right? It will move really quickly. That's when you release you enable the max, right? You want that setup, you want that structure, right? So review these videos, and I'm sure you will see some similarities of what I've just talked about, from UC Max perspective. And then if you go look at some old videos for UC EMA, that's what, but UC EMA has changed a little bit because we have added the reverse button, we have added the above and below button, right, to control the distance, whether you want the trades above the distance or you want the trades below the distance, right? So yeah, I think those are the differences. So figure out what you guys like in the two, something that fits your routine, fits your style, fits your personality, and then make that decision. I hope this gives you good insight. And if there is anything else, if you have any other questions, please feel free to email me, or you can just leave me a message on Discord or Twitter, or you can leave a message for any on Facebook. We'll check our message and respond to you. Okay, thank you guys, and have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.